Well, as promised, I'm going to go over the forecast for the southeast in a little more detail today. And I know this is kind of a boring look here, but this is your excessive rainfall outlook today. So we have a marginal risk for excessive rainfall anywhere in this green shading. Okay. So what that means is 5% chance of exceeding flash flood guidance within 25 miles of a given location. So um, that's basically what that means. So the flooding, well, let me step back. Because of the amount of rainfall we've had lately, it could definitely lead to flooding pretty quickly here. And so the threshold is probably a little bit lower than it has been when we didn't have any rain. So what I mean by that is it has to do with flash flood guidance and how exceedance probability. So pretty much covering most of Georgia, with the exception of northwest Georgia, a good portion of eastern Alabama, into parts of the panhandle of Florida, back down towards the south of Jacksonville, all along the southeast coast, up to all the way up to maybe near Wilmington, Delaware. Uh, Wilmington, North Carolina, excuse me, covers all South Carolina and parts of Tennessee as well. All right, now I'm using this to display the excessive rainfall outlook for today. Okay, now I'm going to switch to another product, weather front, which is still a developmental application. It's not, um, in production yet, but I'm able to use it to display some stuff. So it may have some bugs and things, but I wanted to show you the day 2 excessive rainfall outlook as well for our area next. So here's your day 2 excessive rainfall outlook, pretty much covering the same areas in the southeast. And I'm just going to expand this some. You see this wide, long area here, going all the way up to Montana through the central part of the country. So quite an expansive area of excessive rainfall tomorrow as well. Now we go to Monday. This is slow to lower. I don't know what the deal is with Monday, right? It's like not there. So let's take a look at a different product here. Yeah, so I switched over to the weather front web app here. You can see D3, which is the first, which is Monday, no risk. And then you have a marginal risk for day 4 and 5, okay? And that is out west here. So next couple days will be after tomorrow, we won't have as much chance of heavy rainfall, all right? But what I'm going to do now, right, now that I showed you that, is go over the forecast for the next couple days in more detail. Temperatures, precip, things like that. I posted a short earlier, not a short, but kind of just an overview of the forecast for the next 7 days for Georgia and for the local area. So if you want to just refer to that, I will link that in the description below. If you want to get into me, see the more detailed analysis here, I'll be doing that next. Well, what do we got going on at the mid-levels, right? And this is the HRRR from the Weatherfront app. I'm going to change the model here because it doesn't display it that well. You see, it doesn't actually change over here, which is kind of bizarre. I'm going to change it to the GFS. That way it shows the wide view here. Gives you a better idea of the overall flow here. All right, so now we got that. All right, and no, it's taking some time, guys. Please bear with me here. So let's move this up to about now, 11 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, your eyes are immediately drawn to this feature up to the north here, right? Wow, look at this northerly flow here going offshore. Pretty potent mid-level short you know, this mid-level trough moving through up here. And unfortunately, my brother is up here in Plymouth doing a shoot for a documentary they're doing about, I think, about the Mayflower or Plymouth. And today is probably the worst day um, weather-wise for this area. They're going to have 40 mile per hour wind gusts, 50 mile per hour wind gusts, miserable outside conditions, and they had to move the shoot inside because of it. So, believe it or not, I was able to forecast that for them, so that made me feel good, and just to provide that information. Enough about that, but you see, we got this dip here, but we have some subtropical jet action going here, right? Not a lot of forcing here, right? But you have this mid-level feature here swinging through the flow also. Let me change my pen to a little bit larger so you can see it. And this troughiness is kind of, whoops. Let me go back to the drawing tool. All right. So got this going like this, trough this way. This is swinging through this area today. Severe weather in here. Actually, significant severe weather is possible. That's part of another discussion. Okay. Now, I know I explained a lot, but I'm just want to show you these features, right? One other thing of note here, if you zoom out a little bit, this is a really good depiction of this. Look at this ridging in place, which means high pressure all the way up here and this extreme dip here. So you got the jet stream going like this, going all the way up into Canada, right? And towards the Arctic Circle, really, and dipping down and bringing that cold air down here and like this. But you have this mid-level feature sneaking through the flow here, coming through here, right? In this tropical, subtropical jet, feeding moisture up, and this push to the south at the low levels, right? This is going to be our classic wedge. It's going to push dry air down into the super air mass down here. Okay? Kind of a squeeze play, if you will. This trough is generally kind of going like this. But this is the lower levels, right? 925 millibars. All right, so this is tomorrow. Okay? Let's put this back a little bit. All right, so that's tomorrow at 11 a.m., 8 p.m. into, oh, now we're at Sunday. All right. See a boundary is setting up right here as we get into 3 p.m. tomorrow, right? And you got this onshore flow going right here. Okay, so this is your wedge front. And it's hard to really make this out, but you got some enhancement of flow coming this way. All right, so let's look at the future radar and how it depicts this as well. All right, pretty impressive mid-level feature with northerly flow still up here, southerly flow on the backside over here, and just some nebulous kind of maybe a low pressure here at the surface. Let's look at the composite reflectivity with this, okay? Let's go, we're backing it up here. Saturday at 11 a.m. Just general showers and storms here, right? And you get that feature up here to the north. And this is GFS, so the resolution is quite coarse. What I'm going to do is switch it over to HRRR which is a better short range model here. Gives better resolution, things like that. All right, so back this up in time a little bit. A feature up to the north. Showers and storms on the just south of that wedge front, I guess you would say, right? Sandwiched in between there. Just generally showery conditions here. Through tomorrow. Not showing a very impressive amount of rainfall here. So let's back this back up here. We go to a more recent run. All right, so this is roughly about now. Spotty showers and storms for most of the day here. The southeast. No really focused areas of convection here, but anywhere these storms sit over the same area, and this is, we're going to have potential for heavy rain, okay? And in the Butler area, yesterday I was looking at the totals. They had 5-6 inches of rain in a short period of time. So with these showers and storms setting up, you just never know exactly where it's going to be. If there's a differential heating boundary that sets up as this pushes to the south, you get moisture and instability on the other edge of this and convection firing up. So this is 11 p.m. So still some showers and storms hanging around. Let's go to 12Z. This goes out 48 hours. So, all right. Still unsettled weather for Georgia tomorrow. And you can see this precip fills in again tomorrow afternoon. Central Georgia, up in the parts of Tennessee and Florida as well. Okay. Looks like it's already pushed through the Columbia area, just to the south of it. And you can kind of make out where this boundary is. Okay. Let's kind of change it to the precip type MSLP. Maybe a surface low pressure developing offshore here. All right. And that moves out. And you get into Monday, and you can see why the excessive rainfall outlook is kind of void from this area. Let's go to the NAM nest. It goes out 60 hours, or it takes it some more here. Okay. So a little further. Monday, 8 a.m. Wants to bring maybe an MCS type feature in the flow here. A few parts of northwest Georgia into the afternoon hours on Monday. You see it falls apart, but up in the Nashville area, we could have some severe weather here with this. Maybe a weak surface low developing offshore here. Nothing of concern, I don't think. That'll likely move out as we go through time. Maybe some shower and storms up here in North Carolina, South Carolina here. So next couple of days going to be very unsettled. So let's go over the temperatures, and I'm also going to go over the dew points a little bit further out about how it's going to feel to you in the next several days. Well, I meant to do this to start with, but you can see where the heaviest rainfall is forecast to be. And this is the NAM nest still. This is a 3-kilometer model. You can see the heaviest rainfall is just along the southeast coast, 1 to 2 inches. Southern Georgia, spotted different areas of localized heavy amounts. Looks like Nashville, and this is through Monday at 8 p.m., so roughly 3 days or so, right? Heaviest rainfall up in the Tennessee and parts of South Carolina and North Carolina getting some rainfall, but looks like the southeast coast is going to really get in on it, as well as northern Florida, okay? Parts of the coast of Florida could get a couple inches. So beneficial rainfall definitely continuing here for the next few days anyway. As far as temperatures today, 70s, 80s further to the west, the southeast. in the Florida in the 80s here. All right. Of course, heat index down here where you have more sunshine is going to be in the 90s, close to 100 degrees. This is right now, right? Wherever we get sunshine here in the southeast, you see back into parts of Louisiana approaching 100 degrees apparent temperature. So very hot here. Let's go back. Temperature, wind, MSLP. All right, in the afternoon, 70s, 80s. Cooling off overnight, but not by a lot here. Okay. Still in the 60s and 70s. And we get in tomorrow, which is Sunday. Looks to remain kind of mild here down in Georgia, right? Because of the more rainfall and cloud cover. But to the west, going to be hot. Florida's going to be hot as well. North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, still relatively mild, all things considered. Sunday night, you see it's cooled down some here in North Georgia. I talked about on my short range forecast. You get another low pressure developing offshore, which is kind of interesting. Monday morning, as we wake up into, yeah. So you see this MCS type feature moving through, and the temperatures really plummet here because of cloud cover rainfall as that system moves through. But in this area, it fizzles out, so it gets kind of warm tomorrow. So that's it for that. So that's your forecast through Monday. Let's look at cloud cover here. Cloud cover, you see very cloudy conditions, intermittent clouds and sun, not really clearing out much, right? When we go through most of the time, you see the southeast just remains overcast and just intermittent clouds and sunshine here. So don't expect to go sunbathing if you're out here at all. It's going to be very humid, soupy air mass over the next couple days here. That's all I got for right now. If I see any imminent threats, I will be posting them as far as flooding goes in the coming hours. So I hope you get something out of this deep dive into the everything that's going on today into Monday. So stay tuned to my channel for some more discussion about the severe weather threat out in the central U.S. I'm going to go over a deeper dive into that. And I might even dedicate another video to the tropical, potential tropical development, which again, there's no potential in the Atlantic Basin. There is some in the Pacific Basin, but it's out in the middle of nowhere in the ocean. So it doesn't look like it's going to affect any land. So, but it's getting close to June 1st where Atlantic tropical season starts. So it's worth talking about. All right. So appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. God bless.